Today we're going to talk about the brand NIOD. Now, NIOD is the higher end sister brand to The Ordinary. NIOD with The Ordinary was created in 2017 by a duo founder, but they didn't just found these two. They actually created a company called Deciem. And Deciem, the idea behind it was that they're going to create 10 companies at once. It's Latin for 10. To take over the beauty industry. It was very ambitious. And yeah, it reminds me a lot of some of the founders that I've worked with in Silicon Valley. I've been in startups for 20 years and early stage startups, which takes a very special type of person to create a company. They are often on the line of megalomania, narcissism, delusions of grandeur. You have to be in order to start these companies. So it's a requirement, but it also tends to be the downfall of like the culture and the people and the companies as these companies get older. And Deciem had some problems. So The Ordinary took off as a brand. It's a great brand. NIOD was the luxury, expensive sister that at the time when it came out, like I couldn't afford it. And so I never really tried any other products. They had other lines like HIF, which is hair is fabric, and it was hair care products in tubes similar to like an artist's paint tube. And the idea was that you treat your hair like we treat luxury fabrics and dry cleaning, and you use the appropriate product for that. A brand called Chemistry, which had like body care products. They had a few products that I loved from that line, like a retinol body oil. It's beautiful. There was another line that had like room fresheners, air scents. It was fine. Another one that was focused more on hyaluronic products, like moisture, hand lotions. Oh, they also had like serums, now that I'm remembering, and they were in basic colors. Like it was a blue and a yellow and a red, but it was a hyaluronic acid serum, no different than the one from The Ordinary and very similar to the ones in NIOD. NIOD represents, it's an acronym for non-invasive skincare. I forget the rest of it. It's like non-invasive skincare fanciness. And the brand, the feel of it is supposed to be like very high science, super scientific with like a dash of Ayurvedic medicine. Like it's a little new agey and a little bit sciencey. I brought 5 different NIOD products in their November sale. Stopped using all of my other skincare in order to do like a really thorough representative test of these products. It's the only way you can really get a feel for it is to stop everything else. So there's some good, there's some bad. So let's get into it. The anchor of the NIOD line, like their kind of anchor ingredient is copper. It's a copper derivative, and it's supposed to do all these kinds of amazing things. Copper is the most widely and well-researched peptide in the peptide world when it comes to skincare. All of these claims are about copper in a clinical setting. And what I mean is like a scientific setting, like in a petri dish. Some of these studies, going back like from even the 70s, show that there could be collagen development, that there could be copper released in wounds when they first are created in the healing process. Like all of those things could be, and like in theory, it has a positive impact. But that is in a very, very specific controlled setting. Now, when you take that same compound and you transition it to a topical application, things change. You're talking about different concentrations, you're talking about an uncontrolled environment, and you're talking about a different form of application, which is topically through our skin. Now, our skin does a great job of keeping stuff out. That's its job. So, there's not a lot of science backing up the fact that like copper does anything. Truly, like really, there is no real scientific evidence showing that copper actually reverses skincare damage or truly develops collagen in our skincare. The science isn't there. In fact, when I was doing the research, a lot of the articles that were quoted were like Vogue and Allure. And I'm like, I found one study that was conducted by a skincare company, like that alone. And it was a summary. And I was like, okay, well, this was paid for by the skincare company. This is not a peer-reviewed journal. Full disclosure, very skeptical of peptides and the claims that they make in skincare. when it comes to these things with peptides and copper and this entire line from NIOD, it's just a lot of noise. That's really what it is. It's meant to be confusing. It's meant to be scientific sounding in order to compel you to buy it, but the science is actually really not there. And furthermore, the studies that NIOD supposedly conducted on their own, they don't release the findings from that. You don't, it says like, oh, 95% of people found this result. Well, you don't know how long the test ran for, how many people tested it. Like, none of that real information is available. I came into this brand with that understanding and a healthy dose of skepticism. Their products are not cheap. So if they're charging a premium price, I expect premium results. And the first thing is this copper amino isolate serum. This is like their flagship product. It's a blue, very liquidy serum that you're supposed to put on first. It's fine. It's fine. It feels like nothing, and it does nothing. I don't think this works. And for the prices that they're charging, no. I would 100% skip this. Now, they have a gel version of it that's supposed to be like extra hydrating, extra moisturizing. And a lot of the reviews, people are like, oh my God, this is like my go-to in the winter. Well, if you really read the ingredient list, it's squalene and glycerin, like over 50% of the product. Of course it's moisturizing your skin. Those two products alone are super moisturizing. Like, you can get a squalene-based product from The Ordinary, actually. You can get glycerin. My God, glycerin's having a moment in so many skincare products. It's not hard to find these ingredients in other products without the hefty price tag and without the nonsense of this whole copper thing. They have a hyaluronic acid serum. It's called multimolecular hyaluronic complex. Multimolecular hyaluronic complex. Yeah. Supposedly has 15 different hyaluronic weights in it, and it helps even more with the absorption of hyaluronic acid. It also has a resin in it that is supposed to help create a thin film to enhance the absorption of the product. What that thin film does is leaves a thin film on your skin. It felt weird. It felt awful. And I tried using, this is tiny itty bitty bottle, like 1 drop, 2 drop, trying to, maybe I'm using too much. Ultimately, it left a icky film on my skin. I didn't like the way it felt. It didn't really prohibit like me putting on makeup, and like the film wasn't so bad that I couldn't put things on top of it. It just didn't feel nice. It felt tacky. I had to stop the experiment. That's the other thing with this. I did this experiment for about 45 days and I had to stop because my skin started to look terrible. Like, I was starting to break out. It just looked dull and awful. And I was like, oh my God, my skin needs acid so bad. Give me a lactic acid pad stat. So I had to stop. And some of these products I will reintroduce because I've got them, so I'll use them till they're done. But I'm not going to do it in an exclusive way and like only use these products because ultimately it didn't work. The next is this fractionated eye contour concentrate. Now, I've said many times on this channel, I'm a huge skeptic of all eye products, all eye care products. You can get a topical lift if you've got some bags from a product that has a little bit of caffeine in it, or a product that has a resin in it, may give you a little bit of a lift, but that's it. It's going to come off either in a few hours or as soon as you wash that product off. There is no, I don't care what it is, coffee bean extract or some herb, some bark of a tree that it's going to help. It doesn't. Nothing helps with dark circles. Nothing. All right. So, nothing is going to really prevent your under eye bags or make you look more awake. Only temporary cosmetic products. So I'm wildly skeptical of any claims made for an eye care product because it's nonsense. It's inherently marketing and it's scammy. So I came in with this one. It does nothing. I wouldn't say that and in fact, I'm pretty sure they changed the formula on this because I remember when I first discovered this brand, let's say 2018, 2019, I remember being in the store testing this on my hand and it felt glorious. It felt so beautiful and lush. And I think it used to have silicone in it, because it doesn't have silicone in it now, and it doesn't feel like anything special. I wouldn't say that my under eyes were especially moisturized, brightened, toned, nothing. It's just a light, watery serum. They have this vitamin C product. Now I'm gonna keep giving this a shot. I will incorporate this one because I think it is probably a fine vitamin C product. I don't think it's anything special. Vitamin C products, you can get them really good ones for really cheap. Ordinary has a bunch of them. I don't think this is worth the increased inflated price tag that it comes with it at all. Now, they have a couple other things. Like they have a Sappins face wash that's like verging in the Ayurvedic world. I've tested that before a long time ago. Made me break out and made my skin feel super dry. Didn't like it at all. Don't think it's necessary. Don't think it's necessary if you got breakouts. Don't think it's necessary if you got old, dry skin. It's not a good, I didn't like that product. I wouldn't recommend it ever. They have a neck product. It's called like Neck Catalyst. It's supposed to make your neck skin tighten it. Again, nothing is going to make if you have a sagging neck that you feel you resemble a turkey and that's your area of concern, the only things that are ever going to fix that really are surgical. Like do not waste your money on products that are claiming to make your décolleté tighter or your neck tighter. It's not possible. So those products I wouldn't recommend. They've got one that's like moisture vaccine, and it's just moisturizer in a jar. It's just a barrier cream in a jar, but it's in a jar, so I wouldn't even recommend it for that. Now, and so I didn't have those products here. The other product they have, I love, because, even a broken clock is right twice a day. But I love this product, and it is truly very unique. I've never seen anything else like it on the market. It's called a Low Viscosity Cleaning Ester, and it looks like a micellar water. It is not. It is not micellar water. It is oily in a way I don't know what to compare this to. It's very oily. It is the most effective makeup remover I have ever found. I have a Korean mascara that is so waterproof and so non-budgeable that none of my balm cleansers touch it. Like they do nothing to it. This, a couple drops of this. You use so little. I just put it like a tiny couple drops in the palm of my hand, and then I take my finger and I dab it on. It is, I see a little right there. It's so oily. It's so effective. It's also sold out right now, but it is the only product I would ever recommend from this line. It's also so truly unique. I don't know what magic they have discovered here and that hasn't made its way to the mainstream product world, but it's awesome. And if you are somebody who is in stage makeup a lot, heavy, you're a drag queen, you're an actor, this is the type of makeup remover that I would have in my kit in 4 different places, in home, to go, in the car. It's incredible. Now, it does leave an oily residue. They say that you can just put it on and wipe off your makeup and then not rinse. I don't know about that. It's real greasy, like really, really greasy. It's a double cleanse for me, 100%. I can't imagine just leaving that on my face. It's too much. But it is so effective. And like, it's a little more pricey, but you get so much and you use so little that this is like a buy. Oh my God. I hope they never discontinue this product. Or maybe they just make this and products like this that are like really high quality. Stop making the rest of this nonsense.